I'll always remember it was 2 years ago in October, like scrolling on Gaia.tv, and I was like in search for wisdom. And I just wrote the keyword wisdom keepers. And fair enough, it's like the first documentary that popped out. And I started just like pressing play. And the first image that came, which was, I think, was a written text. That's how the movie starts. And it like started to activate my heart centered. And right away, I knew I was going to be not watching something, but I was going to be in contact with some sort of wisdom that was already vibrating inside of me. And this didn't happen often in my life, this kind of inner feeling. So when the movie started to feeling the emotion coming in and started to feel more grounded, actually, which was really interesting for me. And as the movie went on and I saw the first ceremony done by the Pacos, I started sobbing, like I started uh, crying, but crying from a state of joy, from a state of remembrance, which is not something that happened a lot in my life, which I had to actually question myself about what's happening inside of me right now. This is not normal crying like when you're watching a romantic movie and like you're feeling the emotion of the character. This was something way deeper, connected to a truth, a shared truth that we can all tap in as a human being, because we all part of this grand tapestry of evolution of consciousness and connection with these with Pachamama, with the Mother Earth, and with the Father Sky and the celestial realm, which the Pacos are highly tapped into. And this for me was literally part of the awakening of who I truly am. And by the end of the movie, like the last ceremony that they've done, I was like literally like in tears. And at some point, I had the insight inside of me that these are my brothers. I've been there. I've done those ceremonies. I've been with them. I've been in these mountains and these places, and this is what was activated inside of me in that moment. And a little bit later, after I watched the documentary, I my ego started popping in and said like, oh, maybe you had a bad night of sleep, like maybe you're a bit emotional today, JF. Maybe like this is just the movie, like just toss that on the side. Like this, you're inventing all of these things, And I was like, okay, I'm agreeing a part maybe with what you're telling me as a story, but let's rewatch it a few weeks later. And I rewatched it a few weeks later. It was even more powerful. So I was like, okay, seriously, there's really something here, but I'm gonna rewatch it a third time just to make sure that this is the real thing. And I waited a few months, and after a few months, I rewatched it, and then there was no doubt that there was a deep truth that was being shared in the images and the sound and the motion, the movement and the energy of these places of the Pacos, and what you created as a production of this movie. And I waited before I got in touch with you because I was receiving like, now it's not the time for you to go on this trip and connect to this lineage. You still have some deeper work to do, which I listened to, which I waited until it was the right time. And when it was the right time, I called you and we got in touch. And I realized that you had a similar life story to mine. And at this time, it was one of the first time that I really felt seen by another human being for what was happening inside of myself, which was a deeper truth that I couldn't share with anybody because they would call me crazy.